Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I'm going to be counting down and ranking all 16 supporter cards from the black and white era. And there are many supporter cards that came out in the set, but there were only 16 unique supporter cards. Of course, many of these sets, they reprinted Juniper. We've seen Juniper in multiple different sets, things like that. But overall, there's only 16 unique supporter cards, and I'm going to give you guys the rundown on my opinion on the ranking of all 16. At number 16, we have Team Plasma Grunt. Discard a Plasma card from your hand. If you can't play this card, and then you draw 4 cards. I ranked this at number 16 because we didn't really see too much play of this card, and yeah, you know, you could draw 4 cards, but it's at the at the disposal of another Team Plasma card. So not too great, and just, you know, I don't think it deserves anything higher than the last ranked card. You may say otherwise. Let me know in the comments below. At number 15, we have Cedric Juniper. And basically what you do is put a Pokemon card face down in front of your opponent, and then you tell your opponent the name of the Pokemon, and then they have to guess the height. And then you reveal it. If they guess right, they draw 3 cards. If they guess wrong, you draw 3 cards. It's kind of a lower value Tyranno Sharon kind of thing, being able to draw 3 cards, but it's a little gimmick. And it's kind of like one of those cards where you have to do rock, paper, scissors and see if you can win. If you win, you do draw 2 cards or something like that. And it's just kind of a strange gimmick. And it came out in Legendary Treasures and wasn't really that great. And of course, we don't really see it in any decks. Coming in at number 14, we have Elisa here. Elisa, I don't know. It is from the Radiant Collection from Legendary Treasures. You search for 3 Pokemon Tool cards and reveal them, put them onto your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. And since the Pokemon Tool cards are item cards, you can play as many as you want. And this actually worked pretty well in Tool Drop decks, but definitely didn't really see too much competitive play. And, you know, I wouldn't really see too much play anyways. And so this is coming in at number 14. At number 13, we have Iris here from Plasma Blast. You know, it's full art. You know, during this turn, your Pokemon's attack do 10 more damage for each. To your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has already taken. Very bad for early game, almost useless until your opponent really takes like 3 prizes. Yeah, I mean, maybe if they take 2, you know, you do 20 more damage, it could come, you know, as a benefit. But really, we didn't see too much competitive play with this card. It just wasn't really that usable. And, you know, yeah, you can combine it with certain things, but it got a little tricky to do that. So Iris here only gets ranked number 13. Coming in at number 12, we have Bianca. I've ranked this really low because a certain card named Shaman EX showed up. Now, I know that shouldn't change the influence on the ranking of this card. Bianca is still a really good supporter. It's still a good draw support in scenarios where, yeah, you can probably get a whole fresh hand of 6 if you really could. But I ranked it, yeah, the main reason I ranked it really low is because, yeah, we just didn't see it get played too much, and Shaman EX does the same thing with setup. So Bianca is ranked only at number 12, and that doesn't really make the top 10 because, yeah, actually it could be exchanged with this one, which is ranked at number 11. So at number 11 is Scylla here, and again, I kind of mentioned Bianca and Scylla kind of pretty much were interchangeable. You know, Scylla definitely could have been ranked number 12, and Bianca could have been ranked number 11. But I'm ranking Scylla here at number 11 because, you know, hey, searching for 3 basic energy cards is pretty good, especially if you're playing like a Blastoise deck or an M-Board deck. But the problem with that is, you know, if you have 2 Professor's Letter, why not play that instead of playing your Silent and ending your supporter for the turn with only 3 basic energies when you can play at least just 1 Professor's Letter or even 2 Professor's Letter and get 2 energies or even 3 or 4 energies. So Silent, you know, definitely lost a lot of value. This is from Next Destinies, and, you know, it didn't get a full art version, so, you know, wasn't that good. And at number 10, we have Sharon from Boundary Crossed, and you know, it's just plain and simple. Draw 3 cards. You know, this basically replaced Bill. If you guys all recognize Bill, you know, Bill definitely came all the way back from the base set, able to draw 2 cards. Sharon is basically the same thing, but you draw 1 extra card, which is pretty good. And yeah, so it's, you know, nothing special. Draw 3 cards, and that's it. So that's ranked at number 10. At number 9, we have Hooligans, Jim, and Cass. And you gotta flip a coin. If heads, you can choose 3 random cards from your opponent's hand, and your opponent reveals those cards and shuffles them back into his or her deck. Wow, that's a coin flip. So, yeah, it's kind of risky, and I wouldn't play it, you know. But it's definitely, I've ranked it this high at number 9 because it's just a fun card. It's just silly, and you never know if you flip heads and you can mess with your opponent. And I thought, hey, why not? That's funny. Okay, at number 8, we have Caitlyn here. Put as many cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw cards for each of them from the bottom of your deck. Now, yeah, so basically if you got, Caitlyn in your hand and you have 7 cards, you play Caitlyn, and then you can choose to put all 6 cards, on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then you draw cards from from the top of your deck. You can draw 6 cards. See, so that's not so bad. Now, the reason why you want to do this is mostly because I would say if you're playing something with like Pokemon that uses fossils, and so you can put them on the bottom of your deck, and then you can play their fossil item card, and then you can see, look at the top, the bottom 7 of your cards, and there it is. There's your restored Pokemon that you need, and yeah, so that's kind of the setup there. I think there's other uses for Caitlyn too, but it's ranked at number 8. At number 7, we have Hugh, or Hugh with the G. I don't know. Each player either draws or discards cards until he or she has 5 cards in his hand, and I've ranked it this high because it's just so funny seeing it in competitive play at the U.S. Nationals in 2015, even in those Whale Lord and Suicune decks. And I ranked it at number 7 because it was just the greatness of Hugh was just so epic. I couldn't help but placing him here. And so Hugh is at number 7. At number 6, we have Getsus, the leader of Team Plasma. Here, your opponent reveals his or her hand and shuffles all item cards found there into his or her deck. Then draws a number of cards equal to the number of item cards that your opponent shuffled into his or her deck. And this actually, could have been pretty good. It seems like it was really useful against Sableye, especially with Junk Hunt. They Junk Hunt at the end of the turn, you play Getsus, they end up shuffling. You would basically guarantee at least drawing 2 extra cards. Now, this also works really well if, it could have been pretty good with Seismitoad, but, that's kind of silly. Because you lock them from item cards, and they can use Getsus and then shuffle them into the deck, and then you dilute their deck, or you cause more problems for their drawing probability from their deck, and things like that, right? So Getsus here is really good disruption, but you just didn't see too much competitive play with Getsus, and so, but still, I think it ranks a little bit higher than Hugh, but it's here at number 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Shadow Triad. Now I rank this right here because of the infinite loops, basically. Almost not quite infinite. When Lysander's trump card existed, it was kind of an infinite loop, but being able to get back all Team Plasma things, right, including stadiums, including Pokemon and item cards, and even supporters. Shadow Triad can get any Team Plasma card, including Plasma Energies. And the greatness of Shadow Triad definitely was in combination to Hypnotoxic Laser, especially with VS Seeker. So then you can virtually, with 1 Shadow Triad and 4 VS Seekers and 4 lasers, you can still Shadow Triad. You can Shadow Triad for the Hypnotoxic Laser, use the laser, and the next turn you can use VS Seeker for the Shadow Triad to get the laser. And there it is, right? So Shadow Triad, especially with G-Booster, being able to get that from this card pile was just too great, and I can't help but place it at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Scylla. And Scylla is from the Boundaries Cross set. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Definitely Scylla lost a lot of play because of the new item cards that you can search with, things like that. Trainer's Mail, yada, yada, yada. There's roller skates, bicycle, and eventually Scylla just kind of lost a lot of favor. It was really useful for stage 2 decks where you can use Scylla to search for rare candy and stuff like that, but eventually Scylla just kind of fell out of favor for other supporters, bigger draw supporters, and still I think Scylla deserves the number 4 spot because it did see a lot of competitive play, and it was a really good card for a long time. And at number 3, we have Colress. And in the beginning, in the black and white era, when Colress was first introduced in Plasma Storm, it really wasn't that great, especially early game, because you really needed your opponent to fill up the bench, but it got a ton of more value after Roaring Skies came out with Sky Field, especially when your opponent can have 8 Pokemon on their bench, and you have 8 Pokemon on your bench. You can play Colress for 16, drawing a huge portion of your deck, which is insane. So Colress definitely found a lot more strength afterwards, but even still, the ability to draw using Colress, if you have 4 Pokemon on your bench, your opponent has 3, that's already 7 cards right there, and that's pretty solid in my book. So doing this early game, not so great. Late game is awesome. And here at number 2, we have Professor Juniper. discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Very solid, very straightforward. This is definitely reminiscent of a lot of other Professor cards out there. Of course, Professor Sycamore is basically the same thing. And then, you know, way back in the Pokemon base set, we have Professor Oak, which did the same thing. Except it wasn't really a supporter card back then. But Professor Juniper, just discarding your hand and drawing 7 cards, just an awesome draw support. Yes, sometimes you will have to make tough decisions to discard some good things that you don't need at the time, and then you end up, you know, kicking yourself later because you probably could have waited and could have drawn into an N or something like that. But Juniper here is at number 2. And you all guessed it, at number 1 is N. N is such a powerful supporter card way back. In Noble Victories here, we see that this is from the full art one. Each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck. Then each player draws a card for each of his or her remaining prize cards. And this is so good at disrupting your opponent's hand, especially, you know, things like Sableye junk hunting, or things like they were using, you know, they're able to search for something, I don't know, and, you know, with N, you can disrupt them. And not only can you disrupt them, but you can cause downsize your opponent's hand. Perhaps if you are behind in prizes, you have 4 prizes, your opponent has 1, you can play N, and your opponent down to 1 prize, you can draw into 4 cards, put yourself in a better position to win, and maybe stall your opponent. Perhaps you're about to deck out, and you can play N. Let's say you got 1 prize left, and you have 10 cards in your hand, and you only have 1 card left in your deck. You can play N, and you can shuffle all that back into your deck, and you can allow yourself to have an opportunity to survive a couple more turns, you know? N is just that powerful of a card. And I definitely appreciate N for what N has done in the standard format while it still was in the standard format. You know, since right now it's going to be XY onward going forward. And for the 2015 to 2016 season. So long to you, N, and you know, you are ranked number 1 on all ranking for supporters in the black and white era. That's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, give it a thumbs up and share the video with your friends. If you are new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, thanks so much for joining me on these epic and countless adventures of Pokemon TCG battles and TCG stuff. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to post comments below. Ask me why did I choose these certain ways that I did, you know, if I didn't explain well enough in the video, or if you guys have other suggestions, and if you guys have other top 10 lists or things like that, if you want to share with me what your opinions are and how you would rank all 16 trainers, support trainers. And feel free to post comments below, or even personal message me, and I'll see to if I can get back to you. And that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.